my name is Kim, also known as Yarning for a Smile, and welcome to my craft room. Today is Star Wars Day. If you notice, I have a Star Wars shirt on. It's May the 4th, as in May the 4th be with you. May the Force be with you. You get it? We're big Star Wars fans here at our house, so it's a pretty exciting day. We have big fun plans planned for this weekend with Star Wars things, and Mother's Day things. There will be a yarn store involved, I hope, because Mother's Day is this weekend, and I'm like, for going to a town with a yarn store, I better get to go. It is 8:19 in the morning. I started recording this at 8:01, and I've had just epic fails. I had epic fails all day Monday, so I really need the Force to be with me so I can get this recorded and get this out to you, because I have really pretty things to show you, and I want to inspire you. And I thank you for coming back and putting up with my shenanigans. And this is my video. And this is episode 14 of my podcast video part of the segment of things. I have done other videos and reviews and how-tos, but as far as like actual sitting here talking to the black rectangle with the blue light on it above my monitor and showing you things that I've made, December 14. So, yeah. I'm going to do things a little differently today. Every single time I start off and I try to record like a month review of last month and tell you about my Stitches South adventure, it goes horribly wrong. So, we're going to do that last. So I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to get works in progress ready for you. So, let's look at works in progress. Okay, works in progress. Sorry I moved the camera again, but lighting is an issue. And the lighting and sound, and it's making me crazy and I can't figure out what's going on. So my first work in progress is, and it's also very strange to sit here and talk to a little black rectangle with a blue light on it. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so my first work in progress is a hat. The Midas hat, which is a free pattern on Ravelry. And I'm making it out of undyed yarn. And it's the Vampire base. And it's 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 462 yards. And it's the Wind Nymph colorway. And I bought this yarn last year for my birthday, because it was in Heidi's shop. And some of her colors, if you don't get them then you won't get them. So, yeah. It's got like mint greens and reds and this gorgeous yellow color. And the way the hat's made, because it's a free pattern, I'm not giving anything away. You do a provisional cast on and you knit, and you do like a garter row ridge, and then you knit some more. Then you join them, and then you knit up, and then when you get to a certain length, you do your decreases. So it's super easy. And super cute. So I think I have like 2 more rows, and then I get to do some decreases, and then I'll be done. And let's see if I can get it on. So yeah, you can see, you can't really see the double brim area. It's just thicker, but I love how this yarn is kind of got this pattern to it and not really pulling. And you can see the little garter ridge here, and it's super cute, and it feels good on my head. It's not tight, it's not heavy, but I really, really like it. So this is the Midas hat. And I'll put links to all of it in my show notes, along with links to Heidi's shop. Next work in progress I have is, yesterday I had to sit with my son's class at school because it's Teacher Appreciation Week, and they got to have an extended lunch, and so they had parents to come sit with the class, and I got to sit with my sons, and I needed something to work on, so I cast on a pair of socks. And the yarn I'm using is Opal, and it is in the Best Friends colorway. And this was bought for me from my friend Deborah, the one I rode to Stitches with. And it's a self-patterning, 100 gram, 425 meters of 75% virgin wool, 25% pollinade, and it has a good wool scent to it. When I took it and was working on the socks, the little boy and sitting next to me was like, I smell something like an animal, and I'm like, it's just my yarn. But I'm knitting these on Knit Pro Zings, and Knit Pro is, so I can hold it against my black shirt. Knit Pro is the UK version of Knitter's Pride, and these are not sold in the US. I had to order these from the UK. And I will link the shop that I like to order from the UK. It's Wool something, but they have super fast shipping and they're super nice. But they're not as blunt as the Signature, obviously. But they have a really smooth join where the silver and the gold meet. And this is the US, this is a 2.25 millimeters, so it's gold. But the different sizes are different colors, just like the Signatures. But whereas Signatures are, you know, $44 or $47 for double points, right now with the conversion, these are $10. And I really like these for the price. And I think they're good needles for like $10. I like them. They're not heavy at all. So if something were like a traditional, like the ones that, you know, obviously that Hobby Lobby sells, the Yarnology, they're super heavy, and these are not heavy at all. And so this is my wee toe that I cast on, and you can see it's starting to do its little pattern thing. And for these I did the Judy's Magic cast on, and I think I cast on 10 or 12 stitches, and then I increased to 64 stitches. And like I said, these are a US ones, which is a 2.25 millimeter, and I'm just sliding it on my foot, and so they'll fit in there. They're going to be very cute. So these will just be my in the purse knitting, because I like to have something I can just knit around on my purse in case I'm ever stuck somewhere or sitting in line. I hate just sitting. So the next work in progress I have is my Viking shawl, and I would like to say I worked on it, but I haven't. And I picked it back up Monday, and then I realized that I'm going to have to rip out 5 rows of it because I don't know what I did, but it wasn't right. And so I hope to do that this weekend when I can spray it on the table and just rip back and put it back on needles and go from there. I don't even know. It's so confusing what I did. I'll figure it out though, because that's how determined I am. I did work on my sock blanket. So it has gotten a little bit bigger, and my friend Deborah has started a sock blanket, so that is exciting. And these I am using Signature needles on. I bought a pair of Signature needles just for this blanket because it's a long-term project, and I wanted some really nice needles to work with on it. So I can't really remember exactly which square I worked on it since I last spoke to you. But I think it was, I know this blue square is new, and obviously this gold that I'm casting on now. And maybe the rainbow, this whole row I think is new. And like all my projects, I keep very detailed notes, so if you want to see any of these yarns, if you go to my project page, which will be linked below, you click on the link that has like the project name, and it'll take you to the project page. And on one side of my project page is all of the squares, and they're all numbered. And then in the notes section is the corresponding yarn with a number. So you can see if you want to find a yarn and maybe try it out yourself, if you liked how it looked. And I did the same thing with my crochet blanket that I'm about to show you. So if you want to see what yarn a certain one is, and you can do that there. It's so funny. When I originally made my first needle keeper, this one, I made it in, well, it had to be like 2 years ago or so. And you just couldn't find any of these anywhere for your knitting. And I thought I was doing something cool and new, and now they're everywhere and everyone makes them. But I don't really sell any of my bags or anything unless it's at my local yarn store, which I'm sold out there, so I need to make some more. But this is like one of my bags. And this is one of my bags. And this is actually a Bags by Awesome Granny bag. And so is this a Bags by Awesome Granny bag. So that is, oh, no. Let me get my last work in progress. Last work in progress I have is a crochet project, and the light's going crazy. So my local library has a crochet group that meets on Mondays, and this was the project that they all wanted to work on starting April the 1st. And I heard about it, and I fell in love with the design of the blanket, and so I wanted to make it, and so I joined them. And so I actually went to my first meeting with them 2 weeks ago. But super fun. It's called Sophie's Universe by Deidre Uys, I think is what her last name is. And it is has a crocheted mandala, and then you work out and make the circle a square. And so I'm on like row 42 or 3. And I can't hold the whole thing up because, again, if I cover my mouth up, then the voice gets distorted. So what I'll do is I'll hold it like this and talk about it, and then I'll hold it up, and then I'll stop this show and pick it up with finished objects. But this is all scrap yarn, and again, if you look at my Ravelry group, you will see each row. That's my dog snoring. And the yarn I use for it. And I'm sorry that the light keeps doing that, but the sun is like blaring and then it goes behind a cloud, and it's just making it go crazy on the camera. But this is Sophie's Universe, and so I'm going to hold it up. Okay, so now let's look at finished objects. To show you. I completed another pair of knitted knockers to donate to our local breast cancer support group, and I completed a baby sweater out of the Harvest pattern by Tin Can Knits, and then I did a baby aviatrix hat from the aviatrix pattern, which is a paid for pattern, and I'll link both of those in the show notes, and I'll have to put pictures at the end because I mailed them off yesterday. Like I said, I try to record Monday so I can show you, but the powers that be of the video camera were not having it. I can show you a pair of socks that I knitted. And these I knitted for Bags by Awesome Grannies, Socks in a Month Cow. And I used Knit Picks Felici Sport Weight yarn in the Stream Bag colorway. And I did my typical toe up. And I think on these I increased to 56 stitches because they're a sport weight. And I knitted these on a US 2. And I wanted to use as much yarn as possible, so I didn't make sure I pulled it the same color. So one toe is brown and one toe is like a light brown. You can kind of see there. But they're very close in the stripes. They're just not identical. And I have a good size cuff. I think I only have like 5 or 6 grams left of, they're 250-gram balls, so each ball had like 5 or 6 grams left of the yarn. But they're super, super squishy. I hate that Knit Picks has discontinued this yarn. I know they bring it back on special occasions around the holidays. And occasionally you can find it on Destashes on Ravelry. But it's a thick, squishy yarn. And then for entering that contest, I actually won. And so I won a Notions bag from Bags by Awesome Granny, and I went with the cute raccoons. Because when I started following her, this was one of my favorite fabrics that she had, and I never got it. And so now I had a chance to get like a little Notions bag. And this is actually a decent size. So when I start knitting my Birds of Paradise, my dog is snoring so loud. His little legs are just going. But so I'm going to probably keep that in here. So that's all the finished objects I have. So now we're going to attempt to talk about stitches. So the next thing I made was some baby gifts, and the recipient is not a knitter, and she doesn't really watch my podcast, so I wanted to record today, and that's why I'm fighting all odds to record so I can show you these before I send them off in the mail tomorrow. But the first thing I made was the Harvest Sweater by Tin Can Knits. And I need to add, I'll add that later to the show notes. But I did the newborn size, which is like a 0 to 6 months. And this is the I Love This yarn from Hobby Lobby. It's acrylic, and it's worsted weight, and the color is turquoise. And I just used a simple little turquoise button. Excuse me. But it turned out super cute and super soft. It's a free pattern. The only thing is it like kind of pulls like right here, but I'm not gonna worry about it. I think she'll love it. And then I made a so I love this yarn, Hobby Lobby. They're solid, and then usually with each solid color there's like an ombre that matches it. And so the ombre that matched this is called Agen, A-G-E-A-N stripe, and it's number 806. And so I made this aviatrix hat, and this is a pattern by Justine Turner, and it used to be free, but now it's a paid for pattern, and she's done some improvements to the pattern where she's made it easier to follow. And then she added another like version, like this little foxy looking one, but I had the free version because I downloaded it when I first started knitting. But it's made with short rows, and so it's like a little baby helmet. So this black where you actually do your cast on is the front of the hat, because then you do some decreases in the back. So the black line is my front, but it's like a little baby helmet. And then I added a little button for the strap, so it unbuttons. And then when I picked up, I pulled until I got the same color, so both of the little ear flaps can be the same color. But I'm super excited about how this turned out. I really, really love this hat. If I had more kids, I would make a gazillion of these little hats and make them wear them all the time. So put together, and they're so cute. So cute. So I'm excited to get that off with her. Stitches South 2016 was held in Nashville, Tennessee at the Grand Ole Opry Resort. And I went last minute with my friend Deborah. And when I say last minute, I mean like I was not going to go, and then I was going, and I got ready and dressed and out the door within 15-20 minutes. And I called and got to her house, and she had already left, and she's so nice that she turned around and came and got me from her house. And so we left. It's like a 3-hour drive or so, or 4 hours, and then we got to the event. We did not know where to park, so we asked someone where to park, and he told us to park and to go right in, and the venue is right there. No. We parked. We had to walk all the way through the resort, which is super pretty, and I'll put what little pictures I took there. And then we got in there, and it was kind of small. And Deborah wanted to go to the Lolo bar booth, but they didn't show up, or they canceled for whatever reason, and that was where she really wanted to go, so I was sad for her. But we did shop a couple of the vendors. This was my second Stitches South to attend. The first one was in Atlanta, Georgia, and it was twice the size. It took us less than 25 minutes to go through this thing. And from what I heard, there's no longer going to be a Stitches South. And if it's anything like, that's why. Because it was so small. And the parking was crazy. When we left, we had to pay almost $30 to get out of the parking area. It was $27. $27. I don't know. It was crazy. So, I'm going to show you some things I bought. I bought the Erin Lane sheeple bag. And it's just got some sheep doing some things that you would see around Nashville, like playing a guitar. There's an Elvis sheep, and there's one sitting in a rocking chair drinking tea. Cowboy hat, super cute. It's just the basic single flat Erin Lane bag. And I wanted to get one of these at every Stitches I go to, because I got one the first year Stitches I went. I got a black one with the sheep knitting the red yarn. But since there's no longer going to be a Stitches, I guess I won't be doing that. So that is how that goes. So the next thing I got is some Shirtsy cat designs, and this is in the Egg Hunt color, and it is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 462 yards, and it's these gorgeous pastels, and it's super soft yarn and bouncy. And it reminds me a lot of the base that Heidi uses from the Undead Yarns, the vampire that I'm working with. And that's probably why I shopped her booth, because she had a lot of bases like that. And let's just take a moment to talk about booths. When I go in a booth at a Stitches event, I don't expect for the vendor to come and talk to every person. But when I walked in the booth, there was 3 people in the booth with me. 2 of them, I think, were working the booth. And no one said hey to me, which was kind of, they were talking to the other person. Which I understand, but at customer service, you kind of just be like, hi, wave, something. So I found what I want. I walked around and looked at all the yarns. I was never asked if I needed help or anything. And so I just picked out this yarn on my own and walked up and checked out. The lady walked over, checked me out, they handed me a bag, and they said thank you. So, I mean, at least I got a thank you. And they were probably super nice people, and they probably didn't even realize it, but when you're at an event like that, the people that seem the most cheerful and the more to kind of, I guess, appreciate your business, the more you want to buy to. It's just like going to a local yarn store. If the local yarn store people just kind of not acknowledge you're there. And I understand that there's some people that just don't want to be bothered when they're shopping. But you still kind of like to know that if you had questions, you can ask them. And I didn't really feel like I could ask them because they were in their own conversation. But that's just how I feel about that. So the other booth I went to that I really liked in talking to, and I walked by her booth, and then I kind of glanced, and then I went to find my friend, and then I came back to her booth, and I was like, I'm drawn to your booth. I must buy something. And it was Jushubi Scubby. I'm butchering that, but her name's Heather from Scooby Fiber Arts. We'll say that. Who knows? But she has this gorgeous gray, and I do like a good gray. And this is her Sulfige sock. And it's a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 440 yards. And this is the Oberon color, which is like a reference to Shakespeare's Midsummer Night Dream, I think. I'll need to look that up. But it's super pretty. And then when I was there, she had this really pretty yellow and gray yarn. And I meant to go back and get it, and I did not. So after I got home, I contacted her, and I was like, look, I really want to get that yarn. And so she sent it to me, and it's called Citron Goose. And it's the same base. 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. And it's these yellows and grays, and it's a little bit more yellow than that. You can kind of see the orange dots. There's a couple. It's where the dye separates. I know this because I messaged her. At first I thought, there's something on my skein yarn. And I was kind of about it because of my OCD tendencies. And she was super nice. She was offering to swap it out for me or whatever to make me happy. But the more I looked at it, I just did not want to send it back to her. I want to keep it in all of its lemony goodness. And it's fine. It's super pretty. I mean, her yellow and gray are just, they're super pretty. But it's a little bit more yellow than that's showing up. But you can see the grays, and it's like a speckle gray. I just really, really like that color. It was stunning then, and it's stunning now. And the next booth I went to was Abby and her husband at Twisted Owl Fibers. I don't know why this does not want to pick up and focus. Well, here's the back of her card. She can be found at all those places as Twisted Owl. There we go. And they're based out of Longview, Texas. And from them I got her Luxe sock, which is a 80% merino, 10% nylon, and 10% cashmere. And it's 150 grams, 600 yards. And this is the Twisted Owl colorway. So it's kind of like the colorway after her shop. And this was the only one they had left, so it had to come home with me. And it's minty greens and orange and purple and yellow. And if you can see, the yellow here is so pretty. And speckledy, super soft, huge goodness. And I'll link to her in the show notes. And it's just so pretty. And my friend Deborah got one too. And then I got another yarn from her, but it's somewhere way over there. But I'll show it another time. I ordered it after I got home. After all the madness happened with my dog that you heard snoring. That I don't want to get into. And then when we stopped on the way home at Bliss Yarns, because they had the Miss Babs trunk show, I picked up a skein of Kiara, and it's in the Masquerade color, and it's a fingering weight, 100% superwash merino, 560 yards, and it's 8.3 ounces, so it is a hunk of a skein. And that amazing color right there is why I bought this thing. And I'm actually knitting with some Miss Babs right now that I did not show you in Works in Progress because it's super secret project. It's in that bag right there. But I can show you. I used some Miss Babs Coffee Break Yowza. And this was in my stash I bought from my first stitches actually. Oops. And as far as other new acquirees to the stash, I've got some things in that I bought in the first of the year. So one of the things I bought was from Bling Your String. I actually did her bag club because I won a partial, I won like a credit, and then I just got the whole bag club, but mine has not shipped out yet. But I also ordered a single bag from her the first of the year, and so I got that, and it's these girls reading a book on a tree, and it's super cute with matching stitch markers. And then in February at some point, I can't remember when, I ordered some Desert Vista Dye Works, and I ordered the DIY Cream Eggs, which is a homage to the Cadbury Cream Eggs. And then I ordered some opals because I'm October birthday, and opal is my birthstone. And then from a D-stash on Ravelry, I got and this is an old skein of Desert Vista, but it's called Henley, and this was on my wanna try to find the ad. And the reason I'm buying up Desert Vista Dye Works is because every year she does a knit along where you knit a pair of socks a month in her yarn, and at the end of the year you get a special skein that's only made for people that do that, which is pretty cool. And so I'm trying to get enough so I can knit all next year. And then I also got in my shipment of Hedgehog Fibers for the month of May. And so this is the ice cream colorway, and it's the Hedgehog Fibers Sock Yarn Club, and these are exclusive to her club only, I think, but you might be able to find one on D-stash. And this is the Flying Carpet, which is an homage to Aladdin and this flying carpet, and that does remind me straight up of the flying carpet. So super fun. Hi! So as you can see, the video and the audio started getting a little crazy at the end, but that's all I have today anyways. So I hope you check back next time for episode 15 and check out my other how-to videos. There's how to use Ravelry and some product reviews. And I hope you have a wonderful week. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, and may the 4th be with you. Bye.